Welcome to Simple Stories, Smart Kids, the magical corner where fairy tales get a twist, giggles are guaranteed, and every story teaches something clever, without sounding like homework. Today's tale might look like a sweet romance, but oh ho ho, think again. This bridegroom isn't bringing flowers. He's bringing spooky secrets and a suspicious smile. So grab your snack, snuggle in, and get ready for a wild ride through dark forests, sneaky villains, and one girl who's smart enough to out-trick the tricksters. Let's jump into The Robber Bridegroom, where not every prince is charming, and some might belong in a dungeon. Once upon a time, in a village that was small enough for everyone to know each other's business, there lived a young woman whose father, a rather doting baker with an impressive mustache, was determined to marry her off to the most dashing suitor he could find. And so, as was the way of things in those days, he sought out the finest, funniest, most fabulous unmarried men in the region. Yet, as luck would have it, the handsomest gentleman to call at their door was not the charming prince or brave knight everyone had hoped for, but a mysterious man in a hat, much too big for his head and shoes, that squeaked louder than a flock of geese. The mysterious stranger, you see, had a reputation. Tales of his wit, wealth, and winning smile had reached even the farthest corners of the countryside. But little did the baker and his daughter know that this stranger also had a secret, and it was as dark as the inside of a flour sack. He asked for the daughter's hand in marriage, and the baker, already daydreaming about future grandchildren, excitedly said yes. The girl, on the other hand, wasn't so sure. She listened politely, but thought to herself, "Why does this fellow always arrive after sunset and never tell me where he lives?" Still, she was a clever lass, and resolved not to judge a book solely by its cover, or a suitor by his questionable footwear. To get to know him better, the girl asked where he lived. The would-be fiancé, tilting his hat to hide his eyes, said, "Just follow the path through the woods. You can't miss it." He didn't mention, of course, that this path twisted and turned more than a tale told by a mischievous magpie. Soon the big day arrived, the day she was to visit his house. Her pockets stuffed with breadcrumbs, for she was wise to woodland journeys, and not above borrowing a good idea from fairy tales, she set out, dropping crumbs as she went so she wouldn't lose her way. Birds, naturally, followed, eyeing the breadcrumbs with envy. After a most curious walk filled with rustling sounds and the odd misplaced toe, the girl arrived at a tall, creaky house that must have been built by a carpenter with a grudge against right angles. Shadows danced at the windows, the door yawned open as if it had just woken up, and the trees around the house whispered warnings. Go back! Absolutely not. Terrible decor inside. Inside, the house was dark, with only a single, flickering candle to show the way. Our heroine tiptoed inside, shoes as silent as a secret, heart pounding like a festival drum. "Hello?" she called, practicing her indoor voice. No reply, only the wind rattling the shutters and the insistent drip, drip, drip of what she really hoped was just water. Then, out of the gloom, a kindly old woman appeared, so wrinkled she might have been a raisin in a shawl, her nose as sharp as a pie crust. "Oh, dear child," she whispered, "what are you doing here? This house is no place for good girls or even mischievous ones. The man you seek, well, let's just say he collects more than just stamps." Our clever heroine's eyes widened, her curiosity sharper than ever, but her sense of self-preservation sharper still. The old woman quickly led her through the house, past rooms that did their best to look uninteresting. In one room, shoes and hats lay around, as if their owners had just stepped out and left their clothes behind. A fashion statement that only made the shadows seem deeper. Before long, the girl and the old woman heard the unmistakable squeak of shoes and a shuffling, snickering chorus. Her would-be fiancé and his band of robbers had returned. The scent of trouble was thicker in the air than the baker's best bread on market day. The old woman, quick as only grandmothers and undercover spies can be, hustled our heroine behind a barrel in the cellar just moments before the robbers came in cackling, "What's for dinner? I hope it's not as tough as last time." The prospective bride shivered, holding her breath so tightly you would think she was trying to whistle from her toes. As the gang laid out their loot, candlesticks, watches, odd socks, and worryingly, a few shiny skeleton keys, the robbers' leader, yes, the very same fiancé with suspicious shoes, plotted aloud. Soon a fresh visitor will arrive, and then, oh, what a feast! The old woman, never one to miss a trick, hurriedly whispered for the girl to pocket something as proof. Perhaps the strange golden ring now rolling mysteriously across the floor, almost as if inviting her to steal it. You know how stories go. A ring never rolls into a story accidentally. At last, the rogues grew tired and retreated. The old woman, keen on preserving innocent girls and her own peace and quiet, led the trembling girl through secret passages, out into the moonlit woods. Our heroine flew home on swift feet, her pockets now jingling with breadcrumbs and the mysterious ring. The next day, with dawn barely tickling the rooftops, the girl ran to her father's bakery and whispered all she'd seen. "Father, you mustn't let me marry that man. He's as much a gentleman as a wolf in sheep's pajamas. And this ring, well, it belonged to someone who did not want to part with it." The baker, flour on his face and horror in his eyes, summoned the village elders and the finest mustache-twirling lawmen in the land. When the mysterious fiancé arrived that evening, all smiles and overpolished shoes, the baker's house was as busy as a pie-eating contest. "Tell us some stories, soon-to-be son-in-law," the villagers said, half out of custom, half out of suspicion, thicker than pea soup. The girl cleared her throat, started her tale, and spun it with as much wit and sparkle as ever a baker's daughter could. When she revealed the delicious details, the forest house, the robbers, the old woman, the ring, and finally held it out, the crowd gasped so loudly they nearly blew out the candles. The would-be groom's face turned whiter than a flour sack in winter, his squeaky shoes loading up for flight. But quicker than you can say, "Sprinkle some sugar on it!" The village guards pounced, catching the robber and his sneaky friends before they could even tie their laces. From that day on, the clever girl was hailed as the most sensible and the spunkiest heroine in all the land. Her father bought her the fanciest new shoes, ones that were quieter than a mouse on tiptoe. The old woman in the woods became the honorary godmother to half the village children, who brought her pies, books, and odd socks as thanks. As for our heroine, she decided she liked picking her own suitors and preferred ones without a band of robbers as sidekicks. She opened the village's first detective agency, teaching everyone that a pocket full of breadcrumbs and a sharp eye could save the day, even if your shoes did squeak a little along the way. And that's the tale of how one clever girl turned a scary story into a smart escape. If you liked today's twisty tale, give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to Simple Stories, Smart Kids, where heroes are clever, villains get busted, and every story comes with a laugh. Until next time, keep reading, keep giggling, and remember, if something smells fishy, it probably is.